Welcome back everyone. It's a beautiful spring day today and I'm here with Karen, one of my quail, and we're going to dye some of the quail eggs for Easter. I also wanted to give you an update on my 5-year PRK laser eye surgery. Stay tuned, let's have some fun. Karen's chilling out here with the eggs. I've got a little setup to dye them. I've got some food coloring there. I'm just going to put some hot water in there, and a little bowl with towel and a little bit of oil. Quite a bit of eggs they produce, eh? Beautiful. So these are quail eggs. They're hard boiled. Takes about 2 or 3 minutes to hard boil them. Beautiful coloration there, as you guys can see. I wash them just before I'm going to use them. My eggs are pretty natural, so they have a natural bloom on them. But you want to wash them before doing this process. So you don't have like poop all over them. If you want to dye Easter eggs with with no egg yolk or white in there, you can pop a little hole with a pin on either side and blow out the yolk and the egg white, so that you can have like a hollow egg that's dyed to last all year. Just going to add some boiling water. What I have in there is some food coloring and about a tablespoon of vinegar for each dye. Now I'm using regular food coloring. You guys can use natural food coloring if you want, like yellow for turmeric, beets and onions for reds and pinks. Use like blueberries or wild grape for your blues. I think spirulina probably does a little bit of greeny blue. So there you have it. I'm gonna start dyeing as we chat. I'll see how long I can stay out here. Everyone seems to have their lawnmowers on, their ATVs. It's a gorgeous day. So basically 5 years ago, I decided to have laser eye surgery. I went to see my doctor, and my vision was terrible. It was like minus 5.25 in each eye. And so basically what that means is that I could not see very far away. I could see pretty close up, but not very far away. So what I did was I had a consultation with a laser eye surgeon in town, and they discussed with me my options. So my options were to improve my vision through, the best choice was PRK, which is where they basically take a little bit of acid, remove the bit of the surface of your eye, and then they remodel the surface of your eye so that you basically have really crisp vision, and then the surface of your eye heals back over again. So I did a couple of videos on that. You guys know a while back. You can go back and watch them. I did a tips and tricks video. I also did the whole vlog of the whole thing. So the procedure was painful. Obviously, I was there for in the surgery for, wasn't very long. It was like less than 5 minutes. But then over the coming days, obviously my eyes got more inflamed and more painful. They give you eye medications and painkillers to deal with that, obviously. And the healing process was slow. It took me about 3 months to fully get, the 20/20 vision. I even had better than 20/20 at one point during my recovery period. So basically, we trucked along, and my vision was doing really well. Like I said, it was actually better, than 2015. No, actually it was 2015. So we were trucking along for, the last few years, and my vision is doing, really well. I was able to see basically, like 2015 or whatever, even better than 2020. So that's pretty amazing. It's really amazing, life-changing, basically, to wake up in the morning, be able to see everything, go hiking, not have to wear glasses or anything like that. So it's really life-changing. I highly recommend it, especially if you have a really strong prescription. Sometimes they cannot correct you all the way, that you can basically get, most of the way back down to your best vision if you're really, really high, in terms of your, your nearsightedness like I was. But fortunately, they were able to correct me right back to, the eyes I was born with. So we're chatting along here. You can see I'm just putting these in here to let them sit for about 15 or so minutes. Not even, after 5, they're changing a beautiful color. Look at that. Ooh. Yeah, got a lot to go here. This one's going to take a bit longer, I think. Got a whole nest full, and that's the, right there, that's the, the blackberry vine basket I made all those months ago. It's coming along beautifully. Well, that's going to be nice. Let's let those sit for a while we chat. So I went last week actually to get my eyes checked over at the Laser Institute. I have to do it every 2 years. So my last 2-year checkup was really good. There was very minimal loss of my distance vision, which was wonderful. I've been noticing though in the last 6 months that I feel like my vision's maybe deteriorated just a little bit more. So I was really curious to see what they had to say about that. So when I went in there, I had to wait quite a while, actually, not in the appointment, but to get my appointment because of staff shortages and such. I couldn't get in on my usual time schedule, but which was fine. So when I got there, they checked my vision. I had to, you know, stare at the little balloon and focus in on it. And then of course I went through all the lines of text that you had to read. And right away I noticed that, you know, the text, not only was it a little bit harder to read from a distance, but it was also a little bit fuzzy around the edges. So I thought, oh no, my vision's like, I've been noticing a little bit, you know, the change is there, that there is not as a crisp vision at a distance. So basically, you know, they did all the tests. They made me, you know, read close up as well, because at my age, sometimes the close up vision goes a little bit too. So what we determined, my close up vision was fine, but that my prescription has changed. So it appears that that in my right eye, I'm like 0.75, like negative 0.75. Should be like right on 0, and then my right eye is negative 0.5, and I have a little bit of astigmatism in each eye. So basically it's sort of at that borderline now where I can get a bit of a laser touch-up if I would like. Now it's just kind of at that cutoff, because the machine, you know, they can't promise it's gonna be like, there is like that margin of error, right, for the machine. It's not gonna be like perfect all the time. It could overcorrect me with the way I am right now. And you don't want to be too overcorrected. You'd feel sick. You'd feel like you were like wearing like Coke bottles or something, or like glasses that you shouldn't be wearing. It's way too strong. So basically I'm at that point where they could correct basically only one of the eyes for now. The other eye would have to stay the same, and the other, like the two of them will kind of mesh together and produce, you know, a 20/20 vision. So, you know, I am thinking about that, getting that correction, or do I just go back to like as needed, kind of wearing contacts or something like that. So this is a decision that I'm faced with right now. And, you know, I asked the technologist, you know, what they thought was the best idea. And, you know, the risk is that one, I, you know, could have some loss of my near vision. She said it will make my near vision a little bit more difficult to handle. I might have to kind of, I guess, like pull it out a little bit to see it, like a book further away from my face. That's one issue. The other issue is I asked if I could get the same procedure again, the PRK, because even though it was a painful procedure compared to the LASIK, where the LASIK is just they make a flap of your cornea, they flip it up, do their little remodeling and flap it back down and it heals. But the risk for me as an outdoors person is like impact to the eye, and it has happened quite a lot since my surgery, that I've had, you know, impacts to the face or the eye, or dog bumps into me or something like that. And that's enough for those flaps to dislodge them, and to like, it's like emergency. If that happens, you have to get to the hospital right away, and they'd send you back to the laser center to get that fixed. So basically she said that my cornea might be a little bit too thin to undergo that PRK surgery that I had before, where they dissolve part of the cornea, they remodel it, and then your body just grows a new one over the top. She says it might be a bit thin, because I did some imaging of my corneas at the time of the appointment. So she said I could get the flap if I wanted, but that it'd be up to my surgeon if they felt comfortable like repeating the PRK process. So that's always, you know, a worry. Like, you know, if you go ahead, do the surgery again with the flap, I have an eye injury, to go back to, you know, have to rush to the hospital all of a sudden or something, you're in the woods and a, you know, stick waxing the eye or something, that would be worrisome. Now here, the risk of that is, you know, it causing a major issue, less after about 3 months, but, you know, it is there. It's very minimal percentage, but always a risk. And always a risk too that I could get infections, it may not heal properly, my vision may be, you know, worse. I do find my night vision is not as great since the LASIK, or the laser eye surgery rather. So would that make that worse? Mute down the colors a bit more? I'm not really sure. So these are things I have to think about and make a decision whether I want to go ahead and do the surgery. I had purchased a package at the beginning with laser eye surgery that my touch-ups are included. So it's not like it's a money issue to consider whether that goes through again. I think I only pay for the eye drops or something. It's just, do I want to put my body through it again? Especially at such a low correction, like is it worth the risks? I don't know. All right, let's take a peek. I think some of these are ready. I've been chatting, they're just sitting here. Ooh, oh my gosh, look at that. Okay, I think some of these are done. I'm going to put them on a bit of paper towel right now. And let's take a look. Oh man, oh, I love these. Let's let them, oh, this is fabulous. Look at all these designs. Yeah, each bird produces a really unique egg. Like there's one bird that just produces one that doesn't have a whole lot of ink on it. It's amazing. So I'm just gonna keep soaking, well, these dry out, and I gotta do the rest of them. You can tell these are really fresh eggs because they sink when you're putting them in water. They would float if they were old. That's a good trick. about 4 in each one. Let sit for about 15-20. And I am thinking of getting some more quail this year as well. So we'll see. I don't know how many. I've got 4 older girls now. They don't always produce as well as they used to, but usually we're getting about an egg a day, so that's not bad. Some of them were doing 2 a day at one point. But they're year-old birds, so they're quite old in terms of the bird bird age. So I think in the spring I'll probably get, I don't know, maybe like, I do want some of the males, you know, for the meat production, and I do miss the calls in the morning. It's really nice to hear them crowing. So I must say I've been spoiled with having such great vision over the last 5 years, just a little bit of deterioration at this point. So I think what I'm going to do, my plan next is I'm going to talk to my regular eye doctor, like my optometrist. I haven't had her appointment yet. I do that every 2 years as well, because the laser eye folks, they just focus on the surface of your eye. They don't do the full check for every other problem that you could have. So I think my decision is going to be made based on what this person has to say, and you know, what they think about this. You know, this person also has some certification in taking care of people post laser eye surgery. So just want to find out what they think about it, the risk factors, especially since such a very, very minor correction, to be honest. It's enough that you could just wear, like, say, like the technologist was saying, well, maybe if you had issues with like night driving or something like that, you could pop them on just to feel a little bit more, you know, secure, especially if you're looking for signs at night and stuff. So I might consider something like that just to have on hand, but for my day-to-day, I really won't need, you know, I mean, I can tell what's going on. I don't really need glasses for that. So, but it is something to note. Obviously, if you get the eye surgery, you know, make sure your eye prescription is stable, which mine had been for some years, but you know, you get older, things change. And they warned me about that. So make sure that, you know, you don't get it right when you're 19 or something like that, because, you know, things will change over time and you may have to get more and more corrections, and you're limited by the amount of like surface of the eye, the cornea that you have, as to how many times they can fix that, you know. I mean, we've all seen the plastic surgery disasters when people get their faces done and they look like, you know, awful at the end of the day because it's been way overdone. You don't have enough skin there, it becomes scar tissue, you know, and it all like tight and weird and stuff like that. So I mean, same thing can happen to your eye in terms of like, you know, you can overdo it and end up with, I would feel a big problem on your hands if you kept correcting and correcting and correcting. So do it later on when your prescription is stable. Talk to your doctor about the risks and benefits for you. Like maybe coming down from like a very strong prescription to a smaller one makes your glasses cheaper. And so that's worth it for you in the end anyway. And that's the way I look at it as well. I mean, they said even if I need reading glasses, those are super cheap down at the drugstore, right? So even if they were to correct and my close-up vision was not to be, you know, as amazing as it has been, you know, I can just go to the grocery store and get little correctors to deal with that. So not a big deal. Or now my glasses used to be fairly expensive, given my strong prescription, because you had to get the thin lenses and stuff. Now it's so minor, they wouldn't be that bad in terms of contacts or glasses. So those are all things that I need to kind of balance out. Well, these are ready to oil. It's got a little bit of olive oil on paper towel here, just to make them nice and shiny, nice and pretty for Easter. Oh, I just love this idea. If you guys can get a hold of some quail eggs and dye them, you should do it. This is really unique. Not a lot of people see quail eggs to begin with, and then when you dye them, they look fabulous. And again, don't forget the natural dyes as well. They take a little bit longer. Sometimes you have to soak them overnight. Just want to do a little update video for you guys, so I didn't have all that time. But yeah, you can kind of, I've certainly boiled some eggs in with onion skins, and you know, use turmeric and beets for sure. That's a really good one too. All right, those are good. We'll put them aside. Well, there we go. Aren't they gorgeous? I mean, fantastic. I mean, a little bit of the natural ink has kind of come off there a little bit with me rubbing around with the oil, but I think those colors are fabulous. I think it's totally worthwhile to do this craft. Bonus points if you weave your own basket that looks like a nest. Let me know what you guys think about the situation. I know maybe some of you have had the PRK surgery or the LASIK eye surgery. Do let me know like your experience with touch-ups and if you think it is worth it or not. I'm just getting all the opinions out there that I can. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed dyeing some Easter eggs with me and chatting about my laser eye surgery 5-year update. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them down below in the comments. And of course, there's videos I've done on the actual surgery itself. And if you're in recovery for it right now, I did a video on tips and tricks for recovery. So check those out. All right, have a great week as always. Take care. Bye for now.